Good morning, Kipsters. Happy Thursday. I missed you yesterday. Thank you for letting me be with my family. So let's go ahead and see how you did on the do now. Make sure you're tracking the board so you can check your work. So you see that we start with 1/2 divided by 6. So I think to myself, I have a half pan of brownies. So I only have this much, okay? Make sure you draw an arrow to show what you're focusing on. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. And I am going to share that half pan of brownie with 6 people. So here's for 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, and 6 people. So I need to figure out, okay, this is the new brownie piece that each person gets. And it's a lot smaller than what I started with. So it's 1 piece, and to find my total denominator, I can roll 6 and 6. 6 and 6 makes 12. So my new piece is worth 1/12. Something to just double check yourself. If your equation starts with a fraction, your quotient, your answer should be in a fraction. Let's go on to number 2. So you notice in number 2 that we start with a whole number. So make that quick prediction. Okay, if I start with a whole number and I divide it by a fraction, my answer is going to be written in whole numbers. So I have 4 cakes this time. 2, 3, yucky squares, and 4. And I'm dividing each cake into 6ths to share. So I'm just gonna do 1 so you can see. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I want to know how many of these tiny 1/6 pieces actually can fit in all of these. Well, a lot of them. There's 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, and 6 here. So I can roll my 6s and say 6, 12, 18, 24. So double check your answer. It is a whole number. You should be used to the star ready problem by now. It's our 4th day in a row. So I'm just gonna get you started, and then I want you to lock it up with your teammate and solve. Mr. Daniel walked 9 kilometers each week. How many meters, right, that's a key word, did Mr. Daniel walk? And he did it for 3 weeks, okay? So that's just something to pay attention to. All I'm going to get you started with, guys, is your week 1, your 9 kilometers in week 1. Go ahead and lock it up with your table. Your teacher is going to make sure to see, who could we shout out for the best teamwork? Go ahead, lock it up. All right, let's see what you came up with. By the way, pause this if you guys haven't locked it up with. This is to review once you've solved. So you should have said, okay, well, Miss K, we need to extend our tape diagram for Mr. Daniel to week 3. Because Mr. Daniel didn't just walk 9 kilometers, he walked 27, 9, 18, 27. So 27 kilometers in all. But now notice they're trying to trick you with answer choice B, because that is speaking a different language. B is speaking in meters. We're speaking in kilometers still. So how do we change 1 kilometer to speak in meters? Well, we need to multiply by 1,000. Maybe give me an agree sign if that's what you did. And we know the smart cut to multiply a whole number by 1,000. I can just, lucky us, add my 3 zeros. So the correct answer, teammates, is C. We're going to skip down a little bit, but I do want you to sort of get some practice with the smart cut. I got to get better at filming this, guys. Thank you for being super, super supportive of Mrs. K. So, like we said before, if we start division with a whole number, our answer is going to be what? Go ahead, blurt it out. I hope you said your answer is going to be a whole number. And then we can just use our smart cut here. 1 divided by 1/2. I can just, what happens is I take my whole number times 2 over 1. So you'll notice I actually flipped it. So 1 times 2, 2 over 1 is just 2. Now if you don't even want to flip it, and you can just remind yourself my answers as a whole, you can multiply. So 1 times 1/3, well, the answer is there's 3 1/3 that fit into a whole. There's 4 1/4 that fit into a whole. Go ahead and try 4, 6, and 8. I'll give you about 5 seconds. Go ahead and write it. Give yourself a check if you got 8 for number 4, if you got 6 for number 6, and if you got 36 pieces for number 8. Notice I started with a whole, I ended with a whole. So in the bottom box, okay, we started with a fraction, so what are we gonna end with? Blurt? I hope you said fraction. So I know my numerator is always gonna be 1 because I started with a 1. So 1/2 divided into 2 pieces, that leaves me with a smaller piece of 1/4. 1/3 divided into 2 pieces. Well, the real Smart Cut actually flips the 2 into a 1/2. And that gives me 1/6. So my answer is 1/6. Same thing here, 1/4. I'm flipping this 2 to make it 1/8. So why don't you go ahead and try the next 3? I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7. Maybe a thumbs up when you're done. Just wait patiently for your teammates. For 10, give yourself a check if you got 1/8. For 12, I got 1/12. And for 14, I also got 1/12. So our aim today, Kipsters, we're going to continue working with dividing with fractions, but they're in word problems. So the big takeaway today, I'm going to just remind you, the big takeaway, when you're solving word problems, you have to wonder, do I start with a fraction or do I start with a whole? That is going to change everything. I'm going to go ahead and pause it so you can rotate for eSpark, and then we'll watch our mini lesson.